Hey everybody, Clayton Shear here with the succession team at Strategic Partners Financial Group. On today's key topics to think about or bring up during creation of your succession agreement, I want to touch on the time frame and how aggressive or not do you want to be in creating transition meetings that I brought up during the seller's responsibilities or roles conversation video. This one comes back to also how quickly and how aggressively do you want to be done with a transition. Again, I've mentioned it can be as quick as a few months and it can be as long as a few years. And I think both of those time frames are really going to dictate what this process looks like for you. The other piece of it that's going to dictate the transition process for clients to the new acquirer or buyer is going to be how involved are you going to be from day one and how long is that going to be. The other piece I think in thinking about how aggressive you are in transition meetings is also the buyer's capability to work and to take on that responsibility from you. In a transition, it could be something where you're bringing somebody in that does have some experience, just doesn't have the full book that you do have. And in turn, you're training them and giving them the access to do that. And you're really doing a more of a slow transition process where it's going to take a year or two to pass it off. And it's almost one where it's kind of an assumed transition versus a direct handoff. And what I mean by that is, you're bringing in the buyer to your client meetings and they're involved in all conversations, but you're actually not passing the baton in that first meeting. The alternative side of that could be where you're transitioning out and you're transitioning out sooner, as in less than 1 year. And that transition meeting is a very directed meeting where you are passing on that relationship from you to the buyer. And that one there, that's a lot quicker and a lot more directed process. And so for you as the seller, it's coming up with what is your ideal plan for you and your clients of what's going to be the most efficient to pass it on. And again, it's both buyer and seller's agreement that needs to come into this to make sure the client process is in a very good place. We have seen that the practices that we have acquired, it has been a much quicker process because we want to get that transition done. We want those clients' responsibilities be transitioned over to the new team. That way they have the ability to move their relationships forward and add on all additional services, products, conversations that we're able to bring to the table versus not getting it done over a year, than just doing it through general client conversations. So I've said this before, but there's no right or wrong answer with any of these succession plans. And that's what we're trying to do here is give you just a couple other ideas or a couple other templates that I've used or has been out there, because it may be something that you're thinking of one way, and then this idea comes in like, oh, I can do it this way. Well, that works perfect. So hopefully the idea of creating a transition timeline and a couple ideas has helped you here. So if you have any other questions, would like to chat with us on this and what we've done in the past or what other sellers have had conversations with us about, please reach out to us. We'd love to chat with you.